Chiefs Justin Reid blindsided by shocking free agency contracts. The gears are starting to turn around the NFL with some initial roster decisions coming down the pipe. Free agency may not be open yet, but some big names are falling off the board. Dallas Cowboys defensive lineman Osa Odigizua and Philadelphia Eagles linebacker Zach Bond have signed new contracts this week. Those two were projected among the biggest names to be available, but will now return to their teams. The Kansas City Chiefs themselves have gotten in on the fun, placing the franchise tag on right guard Trey Smith last week. Kansas City hopes to work toward a longer-term deal with Smith, but that will serve as a placeholder for the time being. Nonetheless, the action is getting started across the league, and teams, including the Chiefs, are coordinating their plan of attack. Kansas City has limited cap space and a considerable number of players hitting the market. That means they will need to be selective and calculated in their approach. However, a recent rumor has one of their star free agents questioning his future. Tuesday, Nate Taylor of The Athletic noted that the team is unlikely to bring back safety Justin Reid. Seemingly unaware of those circumstances, Reid voiced his shock on X, simply replying, "Well, that's news." No decisions are final from the Chiefs. But it is certainly an odd drop roughly a week out from the start of free agency. With Smith at least temporarily locked in, that leaves Reid and Nick Bolton among the biggest names expecting a notable pay bump this offseason. Reid had 87 tackles, 2 interceptions, and 9 pass breakups last season. Few teams would hesitate to add that production to their defenses at the right price. From the Chiefs' perspective, however, they could be looking to invest in another star offensive lineman or find Patrick Mahomes a more reliable option to add to the receiving core. Any decision to part with Reid may not pertain to him individually. Rather, it could be the result of the franchise acting in direct response to the flaws exposed in their Super Bowl LIX loss. Regardless, it is an odd situation for Reid, a proven contributor on Steve Spagnuolo's defense, to find himself in. Chiefs predicted to lose projected $60 million star to division rival after missing out on the chance to make history by pulling off a Super Bowl three-peat thanks to their 40-22 drubbing last month against the Eagles. There was never a doubt that the Kansas City Chiefs were going to head into the 2025 season a different team. The question is whether they'll be a better team than the one that went 152 and won the AFC Championship before the fateful matchup against Philadelphia. Financial restraints will be tight in Kansas City, and we've already seen the team make one. Difficult choice by trading away star offensive lineman Joe Thuney to Chicago for the scant price of a 2026 fourth-round pick. Change will come to the defense too, however. Ultimately, it is likely the Chiefs will have to wave goodbye to either linebacker Nick Bolton or safety Justin Reid. ESPN, in predicting some best fits for top free agents on Thursday, suggested that it will be Bolton who bolts. And in a move that would sting all the more, the site projects him to land with the Broncos. NFL analyst Matt Bowen wrote Bolton would be a big upgrade for coordinator Vance Joseph's defense. Bolton fits with the Broncos as a downhill thumper. Against the run, he had 11 tackles for loss last season. He lacks elite second-level range in coverage, but he has 4 career interceptions. Bolton was a second-round pick for the Chiefs in 2021 and has been a starter in the middle since 2021. He missed half of 2023 with injuries, but played 16 games last year. Bolton is the number 3 linebacker on the free agent list, according to Pro Football Focus, and is projected to land a 4-year, $60 million contract, a deal the Chiefs would have a hard time matching. Wrote PFF, the Chiefs have consistently cycled through rookie contract players in the back 7 of their defense and generally let them hit free agency. Bolton has been a staple at the middle linebacker spot almost from day one. Bolton is a bit stiff when flipping his hips and can get picked on at times in coverage, but he is an absolute bruiser coming forward in the run game. Chiefs have obvious Seahawks star to trade for, and it isn't DK Metcalf. The Kansas City Chiefs must exhaust all options to find a starting left tackle this offseason. This includes exploring the trade market, as they did when they traded Joe Thuney Wednesday morning, but this time to acquire a player. Luckily for the Chiefs, it seems like one NFC team may be heading towards a rebuild. On Wednesday, the Seattle Seahawks released longtime receiver Tyler Lockett, and DK Metcalf requested a trade. While a Metcalf trade seems unlikely, anything can happen, as we saw with the Thuney trade. With that being said, Kansas City should call and inquire about Seattle's young left tackle Charles Cross. Is a Charles Cross trade the right move for Kansas City? The Seahawks selected Cross ninth overall in the 2022 NFL Draft. So far, the 24-year-old hasn't quite lived up to his draft value. In each of his first 3 seasons, Cross has allowed 5 or more sacks and been penalized 5 or more times. That said, Cross has shown flashes of great play, especially during this past season. In 2024, Cross had 12 games with a pass block grade of 75, 0 or higher, according to PFF. That certainly is promising, especially for a Chiefs team that had a revolving door at left tackle last season. Nevertheless, Cross allowed 6 sacks, 5 QB hits, 36 QB hurries, and 47 QB pressures. Those stats seem to slightly contradict that his pass blocking improved in 2024. As a result, Chiefs fans have every right to be wary of this potential trade. Despite that, Kansas City isn't in the best position at left tackle right now. So if Cross provides good upside and the Seahawks don't want too much for him, then the Chiefs should take it. In all likelihood, though, Seattle isn't likely to be looking to get rid of Cross, given how hard it is to find average offensive tackles. If the team is looking at a full rebuild, though, and doesn't want to commit significant money to the position, it's possible a deal could be made. Report another team was interested in trading for Joe Thuney, according to a report published by Nick Goss of NBC Sports Boston on Thursday. Another team was interested in trading for the Kansas City Chiefs left guard Joe Thuney, the New England Patriots. The MMQB's Albert Breer said Wednesday on NBC Sports Boston's Boston Sports Tonight that the Patriots called the Chiefs about a potential Thuney trade but weren't willing to meet the asking price. They talked to the Chiefs about Joe Thuney, obviously. They wouldn't meet their price, which seems a little crazy given their offensive line issues and the fact that this is a future 4th-round pick, Breer said. I would have some questions if it was this year's 4th-round pick because they've only got 8 picks and a ton of roster needs to take care of, and they need to draft well and need that margin for error. But I am a little surprised they weren't willing to go to that price. On Wednesday, Thuney was traded to the Chicago Bears in exchange for their 4th-round pick in 2026. The All-Pro left guard spent the first 5 seasons of his career with the Patriots, who drafted him in the 3rd round of the 2016 NFL Draft. Mike Vrabel, who played for both New England and Kansas City during a 14-year NFL career, is preparing for his first season as the Patriots head coach. Even if it was just for 1 year, adding an all-pro caliber guard for the cost of a future 4th-rounder should have been an easy move for the Patriots to make. And it's not like money is an issue for the Patriots. They have the most salary cap space of any team by far. The Patriots can still make significant upgrades to their offensive line through the draft and free agency, but this Thuney situation should have been a layup. It's worth nothing that the Chiefs might have preferred to deal Thuney to the NFC's Bears rather than to another AFC team.